I was mostly expecting to see this when I came in. We can see that one of the canvas drop cloths came free, slid off, and knocked the board onto the floor. One thing I wasn't really expecting to happen was, we'll see here that the board, when it slid off, took some nice chunks out of the foam. That's fixable. It's a minor annoyance, but it's not going to affect the overall end result all that much. All right, let's see how the side 2 did, where I So it did okay. It didn't expand nearly as much as it did in these cracks, perhaps just because these were a much tighter fit to start with, so there's a lot more room to expand, or not as much room to expand, so it had to squish out. What I need to do is come up with a good filler. I could use Great Stuff expanding foam to fill those gaps up, or something else. What I'd really like to do, more than anything else, is actually put some sort of fillet in here, like some sort of thickened glue or something that makes a nice round shape here, so that when I lay up the canvas over top of that, it isn't trying to go into some like sharp corner or something uneven, just a nice smooth thing, and it should help it bond a lot better. Another issue I'm seeing with this blue tape is that even though it's normally designed to release pretty easily, it is sticking pretty hardily to the Gorilla Glue, and it doesn't have a lot of strength. Like it tears very easily. The tape itself is not very strong compared to, say, duct tape or gaffer's tape. And so I end up with blue bits of the tape on the foam there, which is not really good. So next time I might use a tape where the paper part of it has a little bit more strength to it. Oops. You can see over here these foam pieces are pushed out a little bit, so I'm going to have to come sand this down. Once again, this is where it'd be really nice to just come in and big old fat fillet in here and not worry so much about that, but I haven't found quite the magic concoction for doing that yet. The next step is to fill in this giant V on the top of the roof here. Otherwise, it's just going to channel rain right into where I'm sleeping. I have these cut off pieces from when I beveled the edges before, and I'm just going to glue these in here. Now, based on my experience thus far, these are a little too big, but rather than try to cut them down to size and then glue them in, I'm going to leave them alone. I'm just going to glue them in too big, and then I'm going to come back afterwards and cut off the excess. And I think that's going to give me a much better result. The way these fit in right now, it's too tall, but the rest of it, it's a nice tight fit on all this surface and this surface and this back surface. And so I really don't want to mess with that. It's just going to make things worse. Trying to cut this foam with a knife or anything else, just with the tools I have, it does not go very prettily. It makes a big mess and gets all gnarly. So I think really this is the way to go. Glue it in, trim off the excess after. When I glued in this first set here, I put the glue both on the existing roof piece and on the stuff I was gluing in. But unfortunately, because that new stuff stuck up higher, some of the glue was above the roof line, and you can see here, a lot of it just ran out and made a big mess on the roof. So when I did the second half here, I only put the glue inside the existing V, and then when I inserted the new pieces in there, I didn't have a bunch of excess glue above the roofline running all over the place. So that was definitely the better way to do it. Today was a work day, so I spent a lot of time doing work stuff. And as it got late into the day, I was thinking, do I really want to go up to the barn to do work if I'm only going to have an hour to do stuff? And the answer is always yes. Doing a little each day gets a lot more done in the long run than not doing anything at all. And as it turned out, the stuff that I had to do today didn't take very long for me to do the work, but it's going to take, a day for it to all dry. So it's great that I went up there, because even though I only spent a little time there, if I hadn't, I'd be a whole day behind now. Tonight is chilly with storms. They're going to end around 1 o'clock. And then I think tomorrow is going to be relatively dry. We'll see what tomorrow holds. Good night, everybody.